Hi, everyone. This is Jennifer Hough, and this is another interview with Agents of Awakening. What, pray tell, is Agents of Awakening? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Agents of Awakening is all about people who have and continue to transcend that little voice in their head that got planted in them long ago. It's really about how we can transcend the limits of, society, the shoulds, musts, and have tos. It's about following that little call inside that we feel, which is what the Wide Awakening is all about. Following that little call and making it in the forefront rather than in the background, because that is your piece of the puzzle of heaven on earth. All right, so today we have one of my favorite people. Again, I'm so lucky. I feel like I'm a very fortunate human being because today I get to talk to Angela Wilson, aka Angela Unlimited. So Angela is one of our flight school graduates. She's in a program called Wings right now. And Angela is a certified management accountant. Right, Angela?
Yep.
Yeah. And so in being a certified management accountant, I want you guys to know that that's a place where we meet, because all in all, I got to tell you, I actually went through accounting myself in university for the first 2 years, if you can believe that. And so Angela and I actually, instead of doing chartered accounting, I did management accounting. Like Angela, it's just Angela stuck it through. So and she's done accounting for some big charities in Ontario in Canada. And recently, Angela, and I want everyone to know this, no matter what your let's say your vote your reason for making money is, there's always this little heart's calling. If you're really fortunate, it matches what you do to make money. But if not, it's going to keep bugging you. It's going to keep poking you. So, Angela, about, what is it, 4 or 5 years ago now, you let it poke you a little harder, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. It was in the fall of 2016 where I went, okay, I can't stop listening to this anymore.
Yeah.
So where do I go from here? And what do I do with this?
Right. And so what was the biggest thing that stopped you up until that point? Like what were the little voices saying? Like, and where do you think they came from?
Oh, they actually weren't little voices. I developed a huge, very, very loud, what I call internal chatter, that I used to say could take me from standing to sobbing on the floor in 0 to 60. Like, it was unbelievable. And really what that came from was, as I, think back, sparkly little 3-year-old, just like playing around, running around, little ringlets, always had to have the dress on,
Oh,
that
me
kind of
too.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so, and at that point I was just like, woohoo, this is me, let's go. But then, and I'm sure others have heard this when they were little, if you're my age and grew up in the area that I did, but it was, little girls are supposed to be seen and not heard. So I learned very early that, because every time I was just like, chatter, 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 because I was a very vocal child, I got told to be quiet a lot, like massively. And so I learned very quickly that using my voice was not, like, it felt inside like it was not okay, because I internalized what I was being told. And I always, and it's really strange, the things that stick in your head. But I remember being in grade 6 and being on the playground, baseball game. So in a baseball game, you're like cheering everybody on and you're like, playing, and
woo, yeah.
Absolutely. And I remember my grade 6 teacher yelling at me that he was tired of hearing my foghorn voice.
Wow.
So for for a girl that's in a smaller school that is taller than everyone else and was being teased constantly. In my day, they call it teasing. Now we would call it bullying.
Yeah.
But it was that whole, I all of a sudden just went, I have to be quiet. And it just continued and continued. And it just,
Yep.
it manifested really until, I would say until about 2010 was when I really started going, okay, just a minute. I need to, there's something.
Yeah.
And even during that time, like even in kind of the days when I had what I say literally no voice because I didn't speak very much, it was that there was always this little, there's more to life. There's more to me. Like this niggling that was in there.
Yeah.
And I had to keep following it.
Yeah, it's interesting because there is a tall girl syndrome. You actually, you and I actually probably always got put in the back row with the boys or something when we got
Well, I was taller than
pictures.
most of the boys.
Yeah, me too.
You know? So yeah, you were always in the back row and all of that type of thing.
Yeah, so it's like, it feels like that thing of dull yourself down. You're too much. Like you're just too much.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
What's too much? Oh, all of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I internalized very much that being me was not okay. That I needed to be what everybody else wanted me to be if I was going to be liked, if I was going to fit in. The problem is I never did.
and it's like we get this thing in our head, right? That it's like, in order to be everyone's telling me the rules about how to be happy, like how to have a great life. And by the way, did any of that cause you to have a great, happy, fulfilled life?
No, not at all. It's interesting because I would say, through parts of my life, especially, as I became an adult and, my professional life and what have you, I would say people from the outside probably looked in and went, oh, Angel's got a great life.
Mm.
But inside it was just, it was not really, internally, it was not pretty at all.
It's like knots.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm sure everyone can relate right now to what Angela's saying around, like, I just want you to look how many times what we thought, what we felt, what we wanted to voice, it's like, oh, no, and then what happens is we make up that, oh, it must be that what I say doesn't matter, what I feel doesn't matter, and therefore what I say about what I feel doesn't matter. And all of a sudden, the very thing that that is your pathway to your instincts, that's the pathway to the reason you were born, gets squelched. Literally, the instinct, you said to yourself, because everyone else said, your feelings, your thoughts, your voice doesn't matter. What's really interesting is, how are you supposed to follow that? But how are you supposed to follow that little heart's calling? A. B, the cool thing about heart's callings is that they don't stop. Like, if you're born for a reason, it's going to keep calling you. So I remember a conversation between you and I, and something like me saying like, I want all of you. Like, where are you? Like, come on. It's like, not only do I not want you to, I want to know who that is. So what was a pivotal moment for you? What was it, like an aha that kind of got you to go, oh.
Oh, I've had a few of those.
Yeah.
I've had some not very pleasant ones that really made me go, whoa, okay, we need to do something different here. But I think really it was, for me, I think the one that really started bringing my voice out was when I decided to do flight school.
Okay.
And because I had completely convinced myself that, to be able to participate in a program like that, to be able to actually put myself first, like I would never do that. And so I really, it was interesting because I kept going, well, maybe. Nah, well, maybe.
Uh-huh.
And I remember actually the very like, well, we had several conversations about it, and then I finally went, okay, I'm going to do this. But then even showing up, I remember the whole group first getting together, and I just felt like this terrified deer in headlights, because I thought, I'm going to have to actually talk to these people. What am I doing?
What if they shut me down? What if it's painful again?
Absolutely. What if they judge me?
Right.
You know, what if they don't like me? Because quite frankly, my voice doesn't matter and I don't matter.
Right. Right. It's all about liking, because that's what you decided when you were younger.
Yeah.
It's all about whether people, oh my God, I so get that as a fellow Canadian too.
Yeah.
Like this thing about being liked is it's very interesting. I still see it pop up every once in a while, but there's something really invaluable in your story. There's lots of invaluable pieces, but the one that sticks out to me, there's something we talk about all the time, which is having your posse around you, having a posse that remembers who you are when you forget. And one of the things, and you guys, this isn't a conversation about flight school. This is a conversation about being willing to step into something where you're finally, like, to be able to have the courage to do the things necessary to be seen and heard. That's what this conversation is about. But here's the thing, Angela, you just, everyone go along with this. Like, here's Angela, she's been squelched over and over again. Like, no, like, all of this is wrong. Your voice doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you feel. And it would show up even sometimes in these big companies you were working with, that you were doing accounting and advising, and you would, like, even though you had these wise things to say, people would go off and do other stuff. It's just,
oh, absolutely. Yeah. I would get dismissed, and it was, but also in that world too, you're not allowed to show feelings, because to show feelings, you're weak.
yeah.
So your feelings, you squish them down, and you do everything possible not to show them. So I started being labeled really and truly as this, like, really hard person. And I kept saying, but I have a fluffy underbelly. Like, really, I do. But nobody really was willing. Yeah, I'm going to say it that way. Nobody was really willing to hear that, because they wanted to see this
Strong.
they wanted to see the persona, because I had perfected it. I really had.
Well done, Angela. So, well, and here's the thing, that's still in your tool chest. If you need to use strong and wise, it's still there. But here's the thing. I want you guys to see the power of the posse, okay? Not the posse. The posse. Oh, it's both, really. So, but Angela is married to this awesome guy. Now, lots of people have lots of people that see them and get them. Angela at the time had this person, Gord, who's freaking awesome, who I haven't met, that I'm like dying for you guys to come and visit. But when you were going, flight school is all about, I can't do it anymore. Like, it's time. It is time. It's time for me. And now you're doing something called Angela Unlimited. This whole path ensued for you to follow your heart's calling. And now you have a much bigger posse of people that see you. But at the time, it was Gord. And I want you guys to hear the importance of someone that sees you in your life. Like, because it's not just about, oh, I'm going to do this program. It's so important that you have people that are going to tell you the truth and that see you when you forget yourself. So what did Gord say to you when you said, I'm going to do this program to, like, let it, I'm over it. I'm considering it, but I don't think we should, because, you know, I'm going to use money as the excuse when really you were fine. And so what happened?
Well, it was interesting, because I was using money as the excuse, because I basically had said to you, no, I can't do this. No, actually what I said was, not this year, because again, I didn't want to get into that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But then I sat down, and actually, to be honest, for the very first time in my entire adult life, I talked to somebody about personal money. which is not something that was comfortable because that's not the way I was raised and that's not the way my life had been.
None of your business. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and so I sat down and talked to Gord about it, and he just went, okay, like, you're being way too conservative here. You're way too conservative there. He goes, of course we can do this. If this is something that truly you really want to do. And so we discussed it further, and I just went, you know what, I just keep feeling this. It's time. And he said, then go do it.
So it could be your husband, your wife, your whatever. Now you have a bunch of people that will kick your ass and that will remind you of who you are, because you started to let yourself be seen. So other people saw you and then they fell in love with you, like me, and then so on and so forth. So the point is, you guys, it's like we all keep this, when we keep quiet, nobody knows us. It's very hard for someone else to champion you when you don't let yourself be seen. That's first of all. Second of all, when you don't say yes to that little voice inside, what happens is it's going to keep dogging you. And like, I got to tell you, it took a lot of phone calls with Angela, at least 3, to like, I could feel it instinctually. I'm like, no. You want to value your posse. And if you don't have a posse, you got to let people start to get to know you so they fall in love with you. And here's the thing. The people that judge you, which is guaranteed, you know, Angela, you probably laugh the most when I say shit like, what is it? Like, you might as well be yourself because people are going to judge you anyways. So then at least one of you is happy. Right?
I tell people that a lot, and I always say, my mentor Jennifer Hough says this all the time, and it's 100% right. It really
at least one of you is happy, right?
Exactly.
So the thing is, Angela, what would you like? So tell people what you're up to now, which is now you don't have all these, you know, nonprofit clients that you're consulting with and all this kind of stuff. Where did it direct you to? Which is so perfect, by the way. It so matches who you are. So where did it direct you to?
So where it directed me to, so like in my accounting practice, I narrowed it until I was dealing with strictly violence against women in children and youth sector within the not-for-profit area.
Yep.
And so that also, and through my experiences in my own life, I decided that I needed to get out and be seen even more. And I started Angela Unlimited, and Angela Unlimited really is for me to assist others that they know inside there's something more, and there's something more to them, but they need that pair of authentic ears to listen to, because you can't always talk to the people that are closest around you, because there's an attachment there, and there's a feeling of, oh, if I say this to them later, it could come back and bite me. So it's important to have someone that you can say whatever you need to say, because some of us are extremely vocal, and that's the way we process things. And that I'm one of those people. And that's why for years it was so difficult, because I couldn't do it.
God, you could have fooled me at first.
Well, actually, you know what? The very first time that I met you, Jennifer, and it was in Get Out of Your Own Way.
Yeah.
And you went completely around the whole room and came to me, and you looked square at me and you went, okay, quiet one. It's your turn. You need to speak now. And I remember that to this day, because it, you know, it's that type of thing. And really what I want to be is that person.
Yeah.
I could have used through my whole life to go, you know what? You're awesome exactly the way you are.
Yeah.
Being you is perfect. Actually, it's better than that. Because that's truly what I needed to hear, that being me was okay.
Yeah. You know what I would love? I want to, you're just making me think, and now I'm going to be Jennifer in an interview right now. You're making me think of my friend Lori, who does empowerment for kids. You should go and volunteer at her. It would so activate you. She's in California, So I don't know when she's doing her next thing, but I'm going to introduce you. It would
Oh,
be,
that'd be great.
yeah, it'd be so awesome. Nice vacation for you and Gord too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, really, so one little quick thing is, so really that's the kind of other side of this is I would love to get to a point where, little ones come into this world and they can just completely go through it without having to go through any of the squelching of the voices and putting the limits on them and putting all these protective mechanisms around them. Just be them 100%, their whole, like all the way through.
when you have an
that's my
auntie,
goal.
oh yeah, I feel it. It's
Yeah.
like Auntie Angela. When you have this awesome auntie that you can say anything to, that's what I feel like. It's like empowering. You're literally paying. So listen, everybody. You got the perfect parents. You got the perfect situation. You got the perfect school teacher. You got the perfect everything. Because what they did is they catalyzed this kind of messy, polarized, whatever inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you, and it made you learn skills. It had you learn things about the world and about yourself. It had you go and take programs. And then all of a sudden there's this full circle. Angela literally is paying forward her childhood, right? She's paying forward her flight school. She's paying forward it's literally Angela's voice. So isn't it amazing the full circles that happen? So don't put down that really rocky time in your life, because it catalyzed something, but it's asking to be used. So that's really an agent of awakening, is just someone that sees a way to contribute and wants to be that contribution, and is starting to get over the idea that they have to be perfect or not judged or liked before they do it. It's not that you're there yet. It's just that, like, I am more interested in God these days, Angela. Who isn't more interested in contributing good to the world, right? Oh my God.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So everyone, I want to thank you, Angela. Thank you for being so vulnerable, and thank you for having an awesome freaking husband. And thank you for being awesome yourself, and just finding your voice. So many girls have already been affected, and so many girls will be affected. And if people want to find you, where will they find you?
So they can find me at my website, which is angelaunlimited.com. You can email me at angelaunlimited.com.
Go figure.
And you can also find me on Facebook. If you just go into the search and type in Angela Unlimited, you'll come to me. I could give you the whole thing, but there's a whole pile of numbers and what have you. But you can find me that way.
They'll
easy.
find you.
Yep.
Find you. So everybody, this is Jennifer Hough. Please go to facebook.com/Agents of Awakening and share some stories of people that are extraordinary to you. Here's what we're looking for. We're looking for reporters. Okay? Now, who can be a reporter? We're looking for everyone to be a reporter. So if you find something online that just speaks to your heart, that's for sure an agent of awakening to you, or if someone interviews you about what you're up to, usually something that's being done as a not-for-profit or philanthropically, or some way that you're giving, or some way that because it's not about advertising your business. It's about talking about the change that you are in the world, what you're doing to make your community better, what you're doing to make your life better, what you're doing to make your family better. Great ideas to expand understanding between people. So if you want to be a reporter, you could hashtag Agents of Awakening reporter in your post along with Agents of Awakening, and post things that you find that are inspirational about people that are doing incredible things in the world. You could interview your neighbor for what they drew on the end of their driveway. It doesn't matter. It's the same as what I'm doing right now, except you don't have to make it so formal. You could just post something you found on Instagram or something. All right. That's Agents of Awakening. You can also find us on Instagram. I want to thank Jeannie, the Rockstar Zelda, for just dreaming it through her, the Agents of Awakening, and for her beautiful friendship and partnership in this. And I hope you guys found something juicy and good in our conversation that gives you permission to actually be your super great self. If you want to find out, because we talked about flight school this time, I don't usually talk about this, but if you want to find out more about flight school, you can go to thewideawakening.com/flight school. If you have never seen us before and you'd like to learn more, do thewideawakening.com/3 days. Okay. All right, you guys, have a great one. We'll see you next Friday on our interview with an agent of awakening. Again, Angela, I love and adore you. I just, yay.
So grateful for you, Jen. Thank you so much. So
is.
grateful to have been able to do this with you.
Yay. It's so fun, right?
It really means a lot.
It's a voice, Angela.
Absolutely.
Yay. Big, loud voice. Okay, you guys, that I love. Okay, everybody, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday, and we'll see you on the playground page. Mwah, mwah, mwah.